So yeah, I'm just going to start you reading now. Hopefully I'll be able to speak properly. And yeah, so I'll just start. Okay, so the first card you've got for your past is the Page of Wands. Okay, so before I say anything about that, first of all, there's definitely conflict here, right in the middle. You know, you've got the Two of Swords there. You know, when you've got that, whatever you've got in the centre is really, usually, it's the centre card. It's the most important card. Everything kind of hinges around that card. It's like it's the key card of the spread. So there's that. There's like a conflict, and there's lots and lots of movement here as well. There's a special movement. I'm seeing two kinds of movement. I'm seeing inner movement in you. You've really changed. You had one, it feels like you had one set of beliefs or something like that, and now you've changed, and it's a big set of beliefs. It's not like a small thing. This is a huge shift inside you, and it's very, very crucial for you. You were on one side, now you're on the other side with something, and that's what this Two of Swords is about. And I'm seeing a bit of outer movement as well, and there's a pivotal time coming up where you're going to move. It doesn't have to be an actual house move, but it's something like traveling a bit or moving. It doesn't have to be far, but there's some time where you'll be in a different place or a different atmosphere or something like that, and something special is going to happen at that time. So okay, so I'm not going to say any more about this whole thing because I'll just confuse you, so I'll go back to this page. Sorry, I just see so many things at once and I have to just blah blah blah. Right, so back to this Page of Wands. Okay, so what I'm getting here is it really feels like there's a little bit of distance, a bit of emotional distance. Yeah, there's emotional distance and there's time distance as well. What I mean by that is it feels like, firstly, it feels like this is about an established relationship, a proper relationship. And there's some kind of emotional distance, there's some kind of communication problem or something like that. And they're very, very busy. I'm getting they're very busy, I think. I think you're probably very busy as well. So there's some kind of issue you need to communicate, and you haven't had the time to do that. That's one. But also there's this feeling that they know that there's this big block there. They know that there's this big communication block there. And they're not quite sure how to handle that, or they don't quite know what to do about that. That's kind of what I'm getting here. You know, pages are students, and you know, they're still learning. They're not sure what to do yet. So I think that's how they're feeling about this communication problem or this distance, or whatever this is. And there's a little bit of keeping the head in the sand as well over this. It's like, oh, this is just too hard. I don't want to deal with this. Maybe they're mad at me. Maybe they're expecting a great big huge intervention or something like that. And I'm just too busy. I'm just too tired. I know there's a problem. I know there's a problem. But I can't deal with this right now. And I think the fact that they're a bit like that, and maybe they're not explaining why they're feeling like that, makes you feel even more distant, because you might be thinking, well, they just don't want to talk to me. They just don't want to deal with this. I'm trying to talk to them. I want this talk to happen. I don't want this distance to be here. But it feels like they don't really even care about that. That's the kind of thing I'm getting. So, okay, so if that's what you're in the middle of right now, if this is what's happening, because it does feel quite immediate to me, especially if you're in a couple, in a very established relationship. Yeah, this is what I'm getting. This is this time coming up for you. I'm seeing this here. There's a time coming up for you where you'll be in a different place, and you'll both have the time to be able to talk about this. And yet they're going to choose to talk to you. They just need to have their time to think, and then when they've got that time, they've got that space, they're going to want to start to talk to you. It's like they're going to want to try to find their way back to you emotionally. Because if you look at this page, he's a little bit lost, you know, he's by himself. And it's like, where am I? That's how they're feeling right now. But they're going to try and find their way. They're going to make an effort, actually. They're going to make an effort to try and connect with you again. It might surprise you because you think, oh, they'll never do that. They never communicate. They are going to do that. That's what I'm seeing. And I think that's going to make all the difference with you when they do come and talk to you or really open up, because you know, even if they can't communicate properly, even after that, the fact that they're going to try, that they want to be more open, they want to understand, they want to listen, they want to talk, that's half the battle, I think, because they're genuinely interested in changing and listening. Not right now, but they will be. And all they need is this change of scene at this time where you're going to be away. I don't know if you're planning on being away for a few days. Might just be a day, might just be an afternoon or something. But it's a change of scene, and you'll have time, and you're going to be able to talk and have that communication. And that's when they're going to open up, whenever that is. So if you can see that time ahead of you, if you've got something planned with this person, that's when they're going to start to open up and make this effort. And yeah, you can see that on the Knight of Cups. This is them. They're coming forward. They're offering you emotion, openness. So yeah, and there's definitely a future here. You know, you might be worrying that, oh, if we can't even communicate, is there a future? I think there is. I think they've had a lot of problems in communicating. But I think after that breakthrough happens, I think it'll be a lot easier for them after that, if this is resonating with you. So just think about that. Just keep that in mind. It doesn't feel as bad as what you're imagining if you're in this right now. Yeah, I just have to say this. I'm just getting this. I think you're always going to have to watch each other. You know, I think you're always going to have this kind of tendency to drift apart emotionally. Because I think I'm getting this, that you're both quite busy, and it's hard for you to find the time to actually sit down and have a proper conversation, or to understand each other properly, or to even have the headspace or the time to do that. So you're just going to have to watch that. You know, it might be that you set aside a certain time, or you make sure that you have time that's open, so that you can have that openness between you. So just something to think about if that's you. Yeah, with this Knight of Cups, I'm getting a very difficult person here, actually. This is someone different. This isn't this relationship. This is someone from your past. Very difficult. I'm getting a show off. I'm getting a show off here. A show off. This Knight can be like that sometimes. I'm getting a show off, and I'm getting some kind of difficult communication. It's like a difficult communication, might have something to do with money, because my eye's going up to that Nine of Pentacles. I can't help it. It's like I have to look at that right now. So I think they're related. And yeah, you're really starting to get yourself back together money-wise. I'm seeing that. You're planning for your future. I'm getting that. Organising yourself, making sure things are legally in the right place. It might be that you're doing a will or something like that, I don't know. But you know, you've got justice there as well. So something legal, or making sure everything's done properly to the rule. I'm getting that. So yeah, if that's you, if you're planning things so that your future's a bit more like the woman in the Nine of Pentacles, someone who doesn't have to worry anymore about money. You're doing well, you're heading there, you're getting in that direction, or you're going to that direction, I should say. I mixed up my words there. You're getting there, you're heading in the right direction, that's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, you've been through a lot of hard times financially, I think, and that's because you haven't been this organised, but now you are. Yeah, this is, okay, so there's this really, really difficult person here. Yeah, they feel as if they deserve something. They feel as if they deserve something from you, specifically from you. Or maybe they think that you owe them something. Or, yeah, this is a really entitled person, very entitled. Arrogance, I'm getting that as well. I'm very arrogant. I deserve this. I should have this. I want everything. That's the kind of thing I'm getting coming from them. And just looking down at the Justice card, this might be someone you're divorced, or who you've divorced, or you've separated from them, or you might be going through a separation process right now. It feels like you're going through something right now, actually, because if they're trying to get this from you, or they think that you should give them this, you're obviously still going through something with them, or they're around your energy. So I think the advice for you is it's in the card that's right in the middle of this spread again. It's in the Two of Swords. stand up for yourself. Don't be a pushover against this person. If they try and say, I want this, don't listen to that, don't listen to that. Have your swords up, get ready for the battle with this person. That's what I'm getting. And yeah, they think they're right. They think they're right, and they're going to keep on pushing things. They're very pushy. Push. I'm getting that push. And you've got your swords up and you're saying, no, I'm not going to let you push me. That's how you have to be with this person. And, I think with you, because you keep on coming up as the Nine of Pentacles for some reason, you're looking toward having that easy life, that stress-free life, and we all want that, of course. But I think the message here is, don't give in for an easy life. Don't just give in for that easy life, because you're not going to get an easy life if you just give in to them. They're going to be like, oh, I want this, I want this, I want this. And if you just sit back and you say, oh, I'm just so exhausted with this, it just won't leave me alone. Okay, whatever you want, just leave me alone. Okay, you can have whatever you want. That's what they're trying to get you to say. That's what they're trying to get you to say. So don't do that. Now, I know there are these two swords here, and again, I'm looking right in the middle. That doesn't mean you have to battle them. It just means that you have to stand up for yourself and put a shield in front of yourself and make sure they don't grab what is yours. I'm really getting that very, very strongly for someone, so I really, really hope that helps someone. You want to be easygoing. You want an easy life. If you give in to them, you're not going to have an easy life. The way to an easy life is to put up with things now, put up with a problem, have some kind of battle with them or whatever it is, to get rid of them in the end. It sounds horrible, I know, but I hope that makes sense to you. Okay, so the first card you've got for your presence, this Nine of Pentacles, this beautiful woman, very peaceful scene, very peaceful. She's got everything. She really has everything. It looks like she does, but she's actually been through a lot to get to where she is. She's had to travel. Here's this traveling again. Traveling, moving. It hasn't been easy to get to where she is. She's had to come quite far. Because, if you look at this card, there's a house, a very tiny house. It's just up on the horizon. And it's far behind her. So she's had to travel from her home quite far away to get to where she is. So I think you might have left some people behind. Yeah, two very, very separate, very different parts of your life. And this is really, I'm seeing that here. I'm seeing that in the Two of Swords as well. Two sections, one on one hand, the other on the other hand. So you've got one half of your life in your past where I think you were in a group. I'm getting a group here. They had a belief system, might be a religious a belief system or something like that. It might be a church, a religious group. Because again, if you look at this card, right on the horizon again, you've got these two trees here. And they represent the tree of life and the tree of knowledge. So it's the Garden of Eden. So religious, might be a religious group, might just be a cultural group or a belief system that you've moved away from. There's some kind of cultural change that's happened in your life, and you've got the first half where you believed all that. You've got the second half where you believe differently now. And you've turned your back on something. You've turned your back on all of that because, she's got her back to these trees and the house and everything. Okay, so yeah, this relationship that I was getting in the Page of Wands, this person who you're having a bit of a communication problem with, but I am seeing positivity there. They belong to your new life. And this really arrogant person who wants something from you, they belong to your old life. So it might be an ex you're separating from, because you're severing ties with a whole life that you've had, and they belong to that life. But yeah, they're hanging on. They want what they want. It's funny I said hanging on because I'm just looking at the Hanged Man down there. But yeah, they're hanging on for what they can get. They're hanging on, and you're really going to have to stand up against that. You're going to have to stand up against that, which is what this woman's doing on the Two of Swords. She's standing up for herself. She's shielding herself. And yeah, that's how you're going to have to be with this really arrogant person. You might have to block them. She's got a blindfold on. So yeah, I'm really getting this. No, You're not coming back again. You've ruined my past life, or you've tried to do that. You've messed it all up. You're not going to ruin this one. You're not going to ruin this life. You're not going to ruin the relationship I've got now. You're not going to come between us. You're not going to get my money. You're not going to do that. Yeah, very, very greedy, very entitled person. And again, you've come really far to get to where you are now, like that woman. So, you know, I'm getting job changes here, work changes. You've had a few work ups and downs, money ups and downs. You've worked for what you have. You worked for what you have. You deserve what you have. They don't deserve what you have. They don't deserve what they're going after. I know that sounds bossy and I'm really being forceful here, but I'm really feeling this. So, I guess just something else I'm getting here as well. This isn't going to be for everyone, and I know I'm kind of a bit worried about saying this, but I feel as if I have to say this. If this person, this really entitled person, says that to you, or if anyone else says it to you, if anyone comes and says, oh, I'm going to take you to court. I'm going to take you to court. If you don't know what I say, I'm going to take you to court. I'm going to call the police, because I'm seeing that justice card there. I'll take you to court. I'll get everything. If they're being like that, obviously I'm not a lawyer, but this is just what I'm picking up here. I don't think they're in a very strong position. I don't think you want to take that seriously if they do say that to you, if they threaten you with that. I'm getting someone who, yeah, they've got a very strong bark. They've got a very strong bark, but they don't have a very strong bite. That's what I'm getting. And, you know, look at this knight again. Look at this knight again in the Knight of Cups. Showing off. I'm all bright and shiny. I'm all show. So that's what I'm getting with them. So try not to stress if they start to threaten you with things. They might, you know, if you resist them, they might up it even more. They might say, oh, what can I do next? I know. I'll threaten them with court. That'll make them do what I want. It's not going to work. It really isn't. Now, don't stress if that's what they do. I don't think they've got a leg to stand on, really. They really don't. But when I say don't stress, I don't mean be all laid back like the one in the Knight of Pentacles. You do have to come up against them. You do have to stand your ground with them. But again, if they start to threaten you, I don't think they've got any reason to do that. So I really hope that makes sense with someone. Again, I'm not a lawyer, so don't hold me to that. I'm really stressed now, but that's what I was seeing. That's what I was seeing. So, okay, so the last card you've got for your present is this Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, hold on to your fortune. Hold on to what you've got. Hold on to what you might think, oh, I don't have very much. I don't have a fortune. A lot of people want what you've got. A lot of people want what our money. That's why people advertise. That's why you see it everywhere. Doesn't matter what you've got and what you don't have. Someone else wants it. And this person wants it. This snake, this very difficult, entitled snake wants what you have. There's a snake on this wheel coming around. I'm just looking at that right now. I'll lift it up so you can see there's a snake. And they're not trustworthy. They're not trustworthy. They're very sneaky. They're going to try and get what they want. They think they deserve what you have. They think they deserve what you have. I don't want to talk about them anymore, but keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open for this snake. And they don't have a leg to stand on. Snakes don't have legs. They don't have a leg to stand on if they want to threaten you with your court or anything like that. I feel as if I just have to say that again. You might be a bit stressed about that potential. So yeah, just looking at this wheel again, and I'm looking at the wheel, and I'm just looking at the sequence between the wheel and the Hanged Man there right next to that. And when I look at the two of them together, it's totally different to how I was feeling before with that snake and all that. Yeah, very warm with this big orange wheel, very welcoming, and it's up in this blue sky. I'm just looking at the clouds now, fluffy clouds, lightness, openness in the sky. So this is all about this open conversation that you're going to have with this loved connection that you've got. Traveling, you know, we've got the sky there as well. So you're going to go somewhere with them. It doesn't have to be traveling very far, just a different change of scene or something like that. And then you're going to open up, then you're going to come closer. And that your relationship's going to grow. Very, very warm. Yeah, I'll just show you how I'm seeing this. I just want to show you this. So yeah, there's this big orange wheel. And you know, orange is obviously made up of red and yellow. So, and yellow is all about communication. So you're going to have that communication. Red is about passion. So when you mix the two of them together, you've got this beautiful, very amazing communication, very amazing connection. And it's going to grow because, you know, in the Hanged Man as well, you've got the yellow shoes, yellow's communication. Shoes are about movement, walking, traveling to somewhere. So communication when you travel. And red, again, red legs, passion, very fetching leggings he's wearing, very fashionable. So yeah, and the feet, the yellow feet are pointing up to the leaves, pointing up to the growth. So out of the communication, out of the yellow, you're going to have growth. There's growth in this relationship. There's a future in this relationship. Beautiful. Yeah, when you're having these conversations, really listen to them, really listen to what they have to say. There might be a little bit of a difference. I don't know if it's a cultural difference or it's a way they say things, language. It might be an actual literal language barrier, or it might just be that they have different meanings of things. They mean something different. Because I think you might have had a conversation in the past with them where they've said something and you've taken it the wrong way or a different way, and they've come back and said, no, that's not what I meant. I didn't mean that at all. I meant this. I didn't mean that. So just be aware that might happen again in this conversation. So don't jump on things. Don't say, oh, I'm really upset. You said this. Just be open. If they say something that bothers you, just question them in a nice way. I'm seeing lots of very, very nice openness there. And they want to do the right thing. They're trying to do the right thing in this conversation. They're trying to listen. They're trying to be open. Just another little thing I'm getting here in the Wheel of Fortune. Just looking at all of these people, well, not people, they're kind of different characters around the edges. One's a person, one's an angel.